Well, friends, this is Guruji Online, and I am Sanjay Singh speaking from this platform. So, in our previous videos, we have covered almost all the chapters of electrostatics. So, in this chapter, in today's video, let us overview what we have studied in the last videos. Here on the screen, I have listed down almost all the formulas which we have seen in our videos while studying the electrostatic chapters, and this will be an exercise for revision also. So first formula is Q is equal to Ne. This is what we studied in our first lecture while studying about charges, and this is pertaining to quantization of charge. I told you that charge is basically by the movement of electrons. So how many electrons are there in, into this n into E? N into E is what? Number of electrons into E. E is the charge on the electron, and that is nothing but 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So this is what we had studied. This is very important equation. Once we have to find the how much charge is there. Next is our F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R square. With this equation, here what we have learned, this is basically Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law. And what it tells, suppose you have a charge. It is basically Q1 and Q2. Force is between two charges. Suppose you have Q1 charge like this and Q2 charge like this. So if both are positive, then what will happen? Due to Q1, this Q2 will experience F like this. Due to Q2, this Q1 will experience like this. And these forces will be same. And what will be the magnitude of this force? That will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R square. So this is the Coulomb's law we studied it while studying the electrostatic chapter. And if there are number of charges are there, suppose this is Q1, Q2, Q3 like this. So naturally here F1, what is F1? F1 is nothing but it is the vectorial sum of these forces. Means if you want to find out the force on Q1, then due to Q2 this will be like this. This will be F12. F12. Due to Q3 it will be like this, and this will be F13. Like that, if you have Q4, Q5, so you have to add all these forces vectorially, then you can get the net force on Q1. So this is also we have studied our previous videos. V is equal to W upon Q. What is this? Here basically V is nothing but it is electric potential. It is defined as work done per unit charge. Means suppose you have a test charge like this and Q charge is like this. If you want to bring this charge to Q1, naturally you have to do some work. Correct? So here, whatever work you are doing divided by the charge will give you the, here basically Q0, naturally it will be Q0 because it is independent of the, V is basically independent of the charge. Means if Q0 is like this, at any point R, this will be V. V is nothing but, we can define this V like this also. If Q0 is there, then what will be the potential at a distance R? It will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. Naturally, if we are taking as this as Q0, that's why this will be Q0 upon R. So if any charge is there, it has all around the electric potential, and we can find at any distance R with this formula, or we can find the, through this also, work done divided by Q. Now let us see what is serial number 6. This is V is equal to 4 pi epsilon 0 P dot R vectorially divided by R cube. What is this? This is basically electric potential at a point due to dipole. Wherever this P comes, what is this? This is dipole moment. Now, suppose you have a dipole. Dipole is nothing but your plus charge minus charge is placed at a distance, that is D. It is your Q, and this is also Q. Is Q plus Q, and this is minus Q, and P is nothing but Q into D. This is your dipole moment, and this is the axis of the dipole moment. If this dipole is there, then you have to find out, if you want to find out electric potential at a distance R, then what is this R? R distance is basically the distance from the midpoint. Okay. So if you want to find out electric potential like this, then this is the formula basically. We can write this formula like this also. V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. This is P R cos theta because it's a dot product. And this is R cube. Correct? And theta, what is theta? Theta is the angle between the dipole axis and your this R vector. Okay. Now we will move on to next equation, that is E is equal to minus dV upon dr. This is basically, what is E? It is the electric field. This is the potential difference, and within the distance of dr. So it is the minus derivative of voltage with respect to distance. This is also we have studied. And in case of parallel plate, E is equal to V by D. These are parallel plates, and if they are spaced at a distance D, correct? And potential difference between these two plates is V, then what will be the electric field? This will be E is equal to V upon D. Now, what is this? This equation number 9. You remember anything? Equation number 9, basically U, that is electric potential energy, is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R. Means, suppose this is your Q1 charge and this is Q2 and they are spaced at R, then what is the potential energy of this system? In my lecture also, we talked about that it is the system we defined it with respect to energy. It is not, energy is never with a uh, isolated charge or something like that. Of course, potential, this is the difference between electric potential energy and electric potential. Electric potential, of course, one charge is there, you can find the electric potential all around that. But energy will always be of a system. And this, if these two are spaced at R, then this is how we can calculate the potential energy. Suppose we have three charges, correct? Then we have this three system. This will be R12, this will be R23, this will be R13. And in that case, what will be your potential energy? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R12 plus Q2 Q3 upon R23 plus Q1 Q3 upon R13. Like that, this will be R12, sorry, 23, and then it will be R23. So this is how you have a number of charges, you can find out the potential energy of the system. Now, what about this equation? This is basically potential, it is again a dipole, and this is potential energy of an electric dipole in a uniform electric field. This is electric field. If your dipole is there in a uniform electric field, then this will be, this is your uniform electric field, and this is your, suppose, dipole, correct? This is making an angle theta. Then if initially this dipole is perpendicular to this field, and if you bring this thing, this dipole, so that it is at theta angle with the electric field, then This is the potential energy you will find in the dipole. So, or in general, you can write this formula is as minus PE cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. Okay. If it is moved from theta 1 to theta 2, then this will be the electric potential energy of the system having this dipole. Correct? Now, suppose this initially it is 90 degree, then it will be 90 degree, it will be 0, and theta 2 is your theta, then naturally minus P cos theta, and this is what is this equation is. So I hope you understood this. Now let us see what is this. This is basically electric field is equal to force upon the test charge. Means, as we have seen in the Coulomb's law, suppose this is your Q0 and this is your Q. Then what will be the force between them? This will be all equal. We are taking the plus charges for convenience, minus charge can also be there, and F will be nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q0 into Q upon R square. Correct? Now, electric field, if we have to find out the electric field due to charge Q0 at this point, then what we can do? This F, we can divide it by Q0, will give you the electric field at a distance R. Means, if you have Q0 charge like this, then at a distance R, this will be your electric field. Correct? And this formula we can write it as this also. This, sorry, this is basically, if you want to find out Q0, this is Q0 and this is Q. Correct? Due to Q, at Q0, this will be electric field. So this formula will be nothing but 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R square. Means, due to Q, we have electric field here. So this is basically Q. Just these are very minor details, but you have to see, you have to just understand that if any charge is there, then as in case of potential, if charge is there, this is Q charge is there, electric field is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q upon R square, and here V will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R. These things you know. Now we come to equation number 12, and this is what this is called, phi is called flux, and this is the Gauss law. This is equal to closed integral of electric field E dot this area vector A, and this is equal to Q enclosed divided by epsilon 0. So we had given we had discussed this thing at length in our Gauss lecture. If you have Gaussian surface and if you have a Q charge enclosed, this is the what is A, this is area of the Gaussian surface. Then this electric field will be going through this Gaussian surface. So this electric field into area integral, closed integral of this will give you the Q enclosed divided by epsilon 0. So this is the Gauss law, and we had discussed at length in our video lecture. What is this? This is your electric field of a long straight wire. Suppose you have a charged wire, very long, and here the lambda is nothing but it is the charge density. This is the linear charge density, correct? Lambda. Then what will be the electric field if lambda is the linear charge density? And suppose this is, you want to find out the electric field at this point. So just take the perpendicular distance like this, r. So with this formula we can find out the electric field here. Likewise, if you have a non-conducting infinite length plate is there, okay, infinite plane sheet of uniform surface density. This is what? Surface density. If it is there, then what will be the electric field? Electric field at any point will be sigma upon 2 epsilon 0. It is independent of the distance. So it is a very long infinite plane is there. Plane sheet is there. So these things we have already studied. Now let us see what is this. These are, in case of parallel plate capacitor or parallel plates are there, suppose parallel charge plates are there, and we have sigma 1 here and sigma 2 here. Then what will be the electric field here? Internal. This internal electric field will be given by this. We have to take care of minus sign if it is there. If it is minus, naturally here it will become plus. So please remember this. And here in this formula, it is assumed that sigma 1 is more than sigma 2. And what about this formula? This formula gives you the electric field on the sides, left side and right side, like this. That's why it is plus and minus. One will be plus one will be minus depending on the charges, this surface density of this charge surface density of these plates, correct? Please do remember all these things. Now this is a spherical shell. And let us see what will be the electric field at this point, at the surface, and at this point. We have already studied all these things in our video lectures. So suppose this is this point. Suppose this point R. This is R. If R is more than radius, means this point, then what will be there? 1 by E will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R square. What is Q basically? Suppose this sigma is the surface density, then Q is nothing but total charge. This will be nothing but 4 pi R square into sigma. Correct? And if it is R is equal to R, then what will be? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R square. Any problem? And if R is less than R, means it is inside the spherical cell. If the point is inside the cell, then electricity will be 0. We have already studied inside the spherical cell, the electric field remains 0. Now let us see what happens in solid sphere. Solid sphere, here volume density will be there, correct? And Q will be nothing but 4 pi 3 pi R Q, correct? Now again, suppose this point where when R is greater than R, what will be the electric field? Again the same thing, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R square, correct? And when R is equal to R, then E will be nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R square, correct? But when R is less than R, then naturally whole of the charge, it is a volume density, means charge is everywhere inside the solid sphere. So if it is this thing, suppose this point is there, then only suppose this charge inside this circle will be effective. Outside the circle will not be effective. And in that case, your E will be nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q R upon RQ. This you can prove also. So this was all about the electric field in case of solid sphere. What is this formula? This is nothing but, I told you, when charge is there, Q, then at r distance, what will be the electric field? It will be nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon r square. You see, if isolated charge is like this will have electric field at this point. Correct? This is again volume density, surface charge density, linear charge density. Right? There is nothing. We have already used these things. Now let us talk about 23 number equation. F is equal to Q0 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 integral dq upon r square r. Basically, this is a linear uniformly distributed charge, you can say, or continuous charge distribution. Suppose you have a rod, and this is having uniformly distributed charge, and you want to find out the electric field, force at this point, and here charge Q0 is there. So what you can do, suppose you take dq charge. Suppose this has linear density is lambda, so dq is nothing but lambda dl. Correct? So due to this dq charge, a small segment of this charge, so what will be the force here? This will be your R, and this will exert a force like this. And this is the same force. This is R is the distance from this segment, and this is a unit vector in the direction of R to find out the direction of the force. Correct? You understood? And if we integrate this dq from this point to this point, actually we can find out the total force here due to this line length charge. Same way, electric field, if we have F here due to this Q0 and this line, so F divided by Q0 will be nothing but the electric field here due to this line length charge. So this is F, this divided by Q0 is nothing else. So means this is nothing but, this is the again the same line charge is there. Suppose you want to find out the at a distance r due to this line charge, or dq, if you want to find out due to dq means a segment of the charge, then this will be your r, and due to this segment of charge, electric field will be like this. And naturally the direction will be, electric field direction will be like this in the direction of the r, this unit vector r, that's why it's there. It is nothing but dipole moment, as I already told you. This is plus, this is minus. If this is 2D has come, because suppose it is 2D, then this is q, this is minus q, and this distance is, if it is 2D, then this p and x direction of the p will be like this, and this p will be nothing but q into 2D. This is the dipole moment. Equation 26, if we see, We are saying P means it has to do something with dipole. So if you have a dipole like this, correct? And you have a, this distance is 2d. Now, if you want to find out the electric field axially means this is the axis of the dipole. This is the axis of the dipole. This is the dipole vector. Its direction is like this, -2 plus. If you want to find out the electric field at this axis, like here or here or here, and suppose if you want to find out the electric field here, and this r is nothing but this is the distance from the midpoint. Correct? From the midpoint, this r is, and then this is the formula. You can find out the electric field at this. And if you want to find out, this is the equatorial axis. Correct? If you want to find out the electric field at this equatorial axis, suppose this on at this point, then this is your r. Then this is how you can find out. And what about the equation? Now let us see the equation number 28. What is this? This is nothing but torque. This is nothing but torque experienced by a dipole in the electric field. Suppose this is the electric field. You have a dipole like this. This is the midpoint. Then it will have P. This is your P into E sine theta. Means basically it is the perpendicular distance. This is the cross product, or we can write it as this tau is equal to P. What is P? Q into 2d sine theta into E. Correct? D sine theta, 2d sine theta is what? This is your D and this is your D. This is your 2d. 2d sine theta is nothing but this distance. This is 2d sine theta. And if you take the moment of this q into 2d sine theta, this is what? This is your q. Q is a q into 2d sine theta will give you the necessary torque. So this is how which rotates your dipole. So for finding out the torque, this P cross E or P sine theta or Q2D sine theta into E will give you a necessary result. So this was all about the different kind of formulas which we have derived, which we have understood while studying the electrostatics chapter. Electrostatics is basically the study of static charges. So here this chapter ends, and this is the quick revision of the formulas I have given in this video. In the next video, we will start with the current and electricity and resistances, all those things, dynamics of this basically electricity. So if you like this video, please do subscribe my channel